you will listen to me and not speak a word. I am your father, and you, boy, are not yourself. You are too quick to temper. You are rash, insubordinate, and out of control. This will not stand. You will honor your mother and abandon this path you have chosen. It is not too late. This discussion is far from over. We are here because of you, boy. Never forget that.
Taking a character like Kratos, a character that's known for being a rampaging lunatic, who's solely driven by revenge and really just wants nothing more than to rip the head off of every god he comes in contact with, and then turning that character into a wise, caring, but also still very intense father, without it seeming forced or just completely ruining that character, it sounds like a near impossible task, and yet that is exactly what game director Cory Barlog and his studio Sony Santa Monica did. They did something with Kratos that no one was really asking for, but when they saw it, they cheered with excitement, and they realized this is breathing new life into a character in a way that nobody expected or really could have imagined. When I think about games that I played that have left a lasting impact, games that had an impact on me both emotionally and mentally, God of War is at the top of that list. I think what's got me thinking so much about this game again is how much Sony has been celebrating its 1-year anniversary, and also the new Raising Kratos documentary that's going to be featured on PlayStation's official YouTube channel on May 10th. It will be a real treat to see the creative process behind this masterpiece of a game and get a glimpse at what the developers did to revitalize this series. It's not often we get to see a behind-the-scenes process for such a high-profile game, and I suspect something that we will see a lot of during this documentary is the vision that Cory Barlog had for this game and the passion that him and his team had to execute that vision. It really can't be understated just how good of a job Sony Santa Monica did with growing Kratos as a character. I really feel that naming this documentary Raising Kratos is fitting because that seems to be exactly what they needed to do during development. They needed to find a way to make Kratos more human, more relatable, and really just more grounded. That's not an easy thing to do in video games, let alone an established video game series that's known for its brutality and violence on a level that really only the likes of Mortal Kombat can match. When I played God of War for the first time last year, I really found myself feeling for Kratos as a character in ways I honestly wasn't expecting. I found myself wanting to actually listen to his words more intently, wanting to hear his stories, his teachings that he imparts on Atreus. Feeling like I was part of this journey with Kratos and his son was an amazing feeling that only one other game comes close to for me, that game being The Last of Us. We all know that a great game needs great gameplay. If a game isn't fun to play or enjoyable to play, then it will never be a top-tier game. God of War nails that aspect. But what makes God of War a true masterpiece is the story it tells and unfolds, the way it really brings to life the characters within its story. The writing is superb. Every line of dialogue feels purposeful and holds my attention. Every subtle time a character uses body language to express feelings or emotions, it's done perfectly. The one thing God of War gets so right, though, that absolutely cannot be underestimated, is its pacing. The pacing of a narrative-driven game is usually what makes or breaks it. The pacing in God of War is excellent. The pacing is so critical because it's the aspect of the game that puts its hooks in you and keeps you on that hook for the entire ride. When a game has poor pacing with its story, it can get its hook in you early, but maybe lose you halfway through. It may not hook you at first, but it could end up taking hours upon hours before you feel like you actually are into what's going on. You'll find that any game with an amazing story has amazing pacing. For me, the truly special moments in God of War are those between Kratos and his son. These moments feel genuine and have an emotional punch to them that really leaves you thinking about things that maybe you weren't expecting. I look forward to seeing what the next God of War game is going to end up looking like. Something I can say for sure, though, is that this team certainly has its work cut out for it if they plan to match this game. They've raised the bar to a level that I'm sure even they feel they might not be able to reach a second time around. I have faith, though. I have this faith because passion behind this game, it bleeds through in every scene, every moment of gameplay. It's there. I'm going to end this video by saying this. God of War is a game that was born out of passion and desire, a passion to do something within the gaming space that no one thought could be done, a desire to push the industry forward and really show the gaming world how you execute on a vision and turn what started out as a crazy idea that many would doubt into a reality. Sony Santa Monica decided one day that they wanted to be better, and no one was ready for what was coming.